It sounds in this case, Fred, it's like the Chinese people themselves are the biggest victims of the Chinese regime. Is that fair to say?
Oh, they're the first victim, and they're the largest victim. And it's really too sorrowful to think about what the Chinese people have suffered for generations now. And those stories need to be told. Think of the famine. Think of the Cultural Revolution. Think of what it was like to be brought out on a stage before everyone you went to school with, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, and to be berated. Think what it would be like to be pregnant and to be forced to have an abortion. Think of how impotent you would feel as a husband or as a father or as a brother to watch this happen to your wife, your sister, your mother. These are sorrowful stories. I used to have an internship program in Hollywood for Chinese students. And I remember one day, one of my employees got sick and I had to take the big white van down to the airport to pick up the students from China as they landed. They had this long flight. I brought them to their living quarters where they were going to live. And the first thing one of the young women asked is if she could go to a bookstore. And I took her to the Barnes & Noble on the 3rd Street Promenade there in Santa Monica. And we lost her. We couldn't find her. We went to eat. It had been hours. And where is she? And I went walking around the bookstore. And I saw her sitting with a book on her lap. She had piles of books next to her, tears in her eyes, and she looked up at me. She was in the Asia Pacific section. She looked up at me and she said, "The world knows more about us than we know about ourselves." And that was quite sorrowful. But the world needs to know these stories, not from books, but from art, from film. And, the world needs to know what this wicked ideology of evil has inflicted on the people of China for generations.
世界的共识，推翻你，消灭你，这已经不是干涉内政了，是拯救中国人民。这个共识已经有了，谁干的？是我们新中国联邦干的。你是中国14亿人民的奴隶主，你必须被消灭，而且消灭你不是干涉内政。